but I absolutely loved it. It was great. I'd love to go back. It was like, I don't know if it sounds silly, but it doesn't feel very American.
I definitely would recommend going to Dollywood. It's an experience that I won't forget.
But so I feel like that was really good for doing it on a budget as well, because while we were driving around, we were hardly spending anything.
Internal flights, I always go directly to websites, like to the airline. So I feel like I won't really use it. I'll like have a look on a comparison one, but then I'm like, I feel like I can find cheaper. Hi, I'm Ffion.
And I'm Libby.
And welcome to the Camp Leaders Podcast, where we talk about all things summer camp, America and travel. So hello Libby.
Ffion.
Today's episode we're going to talk a little bit about travelling, which I feel like is the fun stuff that I love talking about all the time. So I guess I'll just start off straight away asking, where's the favourite place you've ever been travelling? In the US, obviously.
So probably Nashville, but I feel like Boston is a really close second.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Boston?
Yeah, my camp was near Boston.
Oh,
I've got a friend that
course.
lives there, so I've been
I
a few times.
wasn't mad on it when we were going. I didn't really, I wasn't too bothered when people suggested it. I was like, I can take it or leave it.
Yeah, you think it's like boring.
Yeah,
don't
I
you,
was
before you go?
so glad that I went. It's so nice. But
Yeah.
So, yeah, long story short, Nashville or Boston.
Nice, yeah. I know what you mean about Boston, because I feel like you just think of like walking tours and all of that stuff, and like
anything. But when people were like, we had, I think, a spare like 4 or 5 days at the end of traveling. After we did a road trip. So at the end of that, we had some spare time. So somebody was like, "Oh, should we go to Boston?" And I was a bit like, "Yeah, if you want." But I absolutely loved it. It was great. I'd love to go back. It was like, I don't know if it sounds silly, but it doesn't feel very American.
I know what you mean.
Is that?
No, it doesn't. I know exactly what you mean. I feel like a lot of people say that as well.
Like it's like a quaint and wholesome and nice. And I feel like the main character.
I know exactly what you mean. It doesn't feel like a big city when you're there.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. Not at all. And I think that's made a really nice change after we've been traveling and we've been to all of these different,
so you got like Nashville and then Boston, like polar opposites.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Oh, cute. No, I love Nashville as well, I'd say. I don't know if I'd say that's like my favourite place, maybe? No, maybe it is. It changes every time. I think about it too much.
It's
and then
Dollywood,
it
not
changes.
yours.
I would say that's my favourite place I've ever been to. No. It was good, and like I feel like I definitely would recommend going to Dollywood. It's an experience that I won't forget, but I wouldn't say it's my favourite place. Yeah, I'd say Nashville. It's just so much fun. You're like a party tractor and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
I love it. But no, when you went travelling your first year, who did you go with? Like, did you already have anything planned? Did you kind of go with people from camp?
Well, yeah and no. So my camp ended early August. So before I went to camp, I was in like a big Facebook group with people from loads of different agencies, and somebody posted in it saying, "Does anybody want to come see Harry Styles with me in Madison Square Garden?" And I was like, yeah, I do. So I'd never met her before. I just messaged her and was like, I would. So that was the very end of August, the very start of September. So I had that. So I knew I had to stay there for that long. So that was the only plan that I had. So I was completely open for what I wanted to do in between. I didn't really think too much into it. I think because I knew I had to be there for that long anyway. I was like, well, I'll figure something out. But then at camp, we all just kind of decided. It was kind of like there were different groups of people going to different places. So there was one group of people who were going to like the West Coast. Some people were going to Florida. And then me and 4 of my friends, we decided to rent a car and do a road trip. That was amazing. It was so, I like being organised and I like kind of knowing, but it was so fun to just not really know where we were going next. So we knew when we rented a car, we were like, okay, we want to go to Nashville, New Orleans, and that was basically it that we knew we wanted to go to. So it was so fun. I would recommend a road trip to anyone. Like just
was it not stressful though?
Stressful in what way?
Like you said, you didn't have anything planned. Like, did you not find that stressful, or was it just like the fun like outweighed the stress?
I did, but that's because I feel like that's more on me than like the situation. Like I liked to know where we were going, but then it was also like I had to remind myself to take a step back from it. Like we'd just be of course, like 2 days in advance, we'd know where we were going. We weren't just like pulling up in random like areas,
random
like,
towns.
I'm home. But it was so cool to just be driving through a random place and be like, oh, should we go for lunch? Or
that is cute.
Like we were driving through Kentucky and we drove past a sign for a museum. We were like, should we go? And it was the weirdest place I've ever been in my life, but it was great. Like, and some of the places we stayed as well were really interesting.
Did you stay in like Airbnbs or hotels or hostels? What was kind of the situation?
Bit of a mixture, really. I think it kind of depended on where we were. Like if we were in cities, we always tried to stay in hotels because I just feel a bit safer. I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel like when you're in like a city where there's loads of people, like there's a reception desk. I don't know
what you mean.
But there were some places where we did have to stay in Airbnbs. Like if the drive between the two places we were going was really far, we'd have to find somewhere in the middle, so we'd stay in Airbnbs then, but we always made like really checked the reviews and stuff,
like Superhost.
Superhost. We stayed in one Airbnb, I can't even remember, it was Alabama it was in.
Okay.
And there was a field with zebras opposite it, like actual zebras.
Was it like a zoo or a farm?
No, they were just chilling. I didn't bother them.
I didn't know zebras just live on a farm. No. You're joking.
I'm not. I swear there were zebras.
I feel like that's strange.
Unless they were painted horses. I don't know, but they looked like zebras. I've been telling him they were zebras today. I don't know. They look like zebras.
But I feel like random stories like that, like you wouldn't get if you wouldn't have. Like I feel like because I've not been on a road trip, I wouldn't have seen like random places
it was.
Like that.
And then there's this place in Alabama, and it's called like the drive-through weird museum. It's not actually called that. I've just given it that name, but it's a drive-through museum just on the side of the road. And it's like
drive through everything.
Yeah,
in America.
You don't even have to pay. You just drive through, and it's like some out of American Horror Stories. Like there was all like fake chicken heads and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god,
I'm really selling it off.
Zebras. It sounds fun though.
It was so fun. We did 17 states in 3 weeks. So we did.
That's a lot of driving.
We did the rounds. I didn't drive.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Was there one driver?
Yeah. Georgia.
That's a lot of driving.
Georgia. Yeah. They wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's fine.
I don't think I'd have wanted to. Anyway, I've never driven automatic.
Yeah.
So you've driven in America, haven't you?
Yeah. I'd say it's easier than here.
Do you think?
Yeah, because the roads are bigger. Automatic, it's like a go-kart, really.
Oh.
You just use one foot. Like the other foot just... I feel like when I first drove though, I used both. And then like when I brake and I literally slam forward. But no, I think it's a lot easier to drive an automatic.
Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. It's like when you're going up hills and stuff, it feels a bit weird.
Is it? Because you're not...
Because you can't like go down a gear to like...
Oh, you just have to...
It obviously goes down a gear automatically. But like you've got to like wait for it to kick in. And you're kind of like trying to go up the hill. But other than that, I feel like it's fine.
When we rented a car, it was like, okay, I will be driving. Like, as long as you're happy with doing the driving, great, I'm in.
But I'll sitting in the...
Yeah, we took it in turns to sit in the front, like we were like children. Like, it was like, Kim, you've been in the front for 3 hours.
Well, didn't you say you rented a 5-seater car for 5 people and 5 suitcases?
5 people, 5 suitcases.
Yeah.
My suitcase wheels fell off on the way to collect the car, so...
Oh, no.
That was fun. But a few of the girls just had little bags with them. They left some stuff at camp, so it was my suitcase that was the biggest, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so first year we did a road trip. And then we met up with some people along the way. Like I was saying earlier, some people went to different places. So we met up with some people in like DC, which was really nice. And then in Nashville, everybody just seemed to be in Nashville the first year.
Nashville's the place to be.
It is. It was the place to be. Yeah, it was. And then my second year, I just did New York, Nashville, and then came home. I didn't travel for too much longer. Have you always used the full 30 days?
No, I don't think I've ever used the full 30 days actually. So my first year I used like 2 weeks, I think, which I thought was plenty because I did so much in those 2 weeks. I was so tired after. And then my second year I only used like 3 days. I went to a concert and then went straight home. Well, I had an event back in Manchester, so went to a concert and then went straight home. I went to that. Oh. And then last year I used like a week. Jonas Brothers in Boston.
Nice.
It was great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. In Boston.
And then, yeah.
What did you say you used last year?
I think it was like a week and a half, maybe.
Last year you only used a week?
Yeah, I don't think I travelled that long. Because I had an event again in Manchester. So I feel like I always need to come back for the bank holiday weekend. Everything happens on that bank holiday weekend in August, though.
I like to be home for that.
Yeah.
This year when I booked my flights, I booked them. So I'm home for the bank holiday weekend.
I think it's the first year that I won't be. So I come back on that bank holiday Monday.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I come home just before that. Have you thought about your plans like for this year or?
A little bit, but not too much. I think we normally wait till we're at camp just so then maybe, you know, if other people want to come as well, then you meet people at camp, you can ask them. And
that's what I think, because me and my friends have kind of discussed things we might want to do.
Yeah.
But then I feel really bad because we're going to go to camp and obviously make new friends as well. And then it's, oh, sorry, we've actually got this booked.
Exactly. Yeah. It's nice to kind of like chat to new people at camp. And especially when I was a first time staff member as well, like I had already made all my travel plans, and then I got to camp.
Yeah, of course. You did a cozy trip, didn't you, your first year?
Yeah, I did like a 4-day cozy trip from LA to, I think, on like Route 66, and then Grand Canyon, Vegas, and then back to Hollywood again.
Oh, really?
Was really good, to be fair. And it was a nice kind of like 4-day thing that was already planned that I didn't have to like think about.
So did you say you did that on your own, or was it with people from camp?
No one from camp, yeah, just on my own. But I was traveling with people from home. So like I didn't go with anyone from camp, so I already had everything planned. So like I knew I was going to New York for 4 nights, and then 2 of my friends from school came and met me in New York. And then one of my friends went home, and then my other friend came with me for the rest of it. So we flew to Hollywood, stayed there, went on the coyote trip, and then went back to Venice Beach for 4 nights, and then went home. So it was like all planned. And I don't regret it because I had a fun time, but I also wish I would have gone with people from camp. But I feel like there's like swings and roundabouts because they booked everything like last minute, the people at camp, which would have stressed me out too much.
But then I guess even if you wanted to do, like, if you're somebody who doesn't really know what to do, you know, like how to go about things as much, you could always like book a coyote trip with people from camp.
Yeah.
Like that'd definitely be a shout, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I've just gone on about what I did travelling then. So what did you do last year?
So last year, I feel like I saved up loads of money before I went to kind of like have a really big budget before I went. I probably took like, I want to say like £2,000 with me to camp because I knew I wanted to
go big,
like do it, because I feel like the other years I've had a really low budget and it's been great. Like I've still had loads of fun.
This was Fion's big year.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna rent a Jeep. I'm gonna book this nice hotel. Like I'm gonna do it all.
Club.
Yeah, gonna get all do all the things I couldn't do last time maybe. But this year we basically just went straight to Charleston, South Carolina. Had a little beach holiday, 3 nights.
Done.
Rented a Jeep, drove around, did like the Outer Banks tour, but for free. We didn't pay someone to do it. We just drove to the places. Life hack. And then after that we flew to Nashville, then drove to Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Went to Dollywood, which is a little bit of an experience. I feel like.
Was she there?
She wasn't there, no. Sometimes,
she
she
drives through.
I really wanted her to. Yeah. But no, she wasn't there, sadly. But Pigeon Forge is like indescribable. It's Blackpool, Vegas, mixed with I don't know what else. It's just
something
so
else.
Colourful, like so colourful, and so it's like it's nice, to be fair. Sorry, I think I just got off on a big
Pigeon Forge.
And then after there we drove back to Nashville. So like it was like a 4-hour drive. So 4 hours there, then 4 hours back to Nashville.
I feel like distance in America isn't.
Yeah, 4-hour drive in America is probably like an hour drive.
Yeah, like my friends that live 4 hours away, I'll see them like twice a year. But in America, it's like, oh, you come around for tea.
Yeah,
like, it's
like it's nothing.
It's nothing
at all.
Yeah, that's not too far, I guess, in America.
No, but for me it was. I'm like 4 hours. That's like Scotland.
Yeah,
I can get here from hit Scotland in 4 hours, I think.
Yeah, I'll hit to London.
Yeah, mad
miles.
But no, we dropped the car off in Nashville. Then we did like the whole thing in Nashville. Met up with a couple of people from camp as well in Nashville. So they didn't come to Pigeon Forge with us, but they met us in Nashville, which was nice. So we booked like an Airbnb there because there was like 5 of us.
Yeah, sometimes it's when there's a big group, yeah. And
it was in like a big apartment block with like a pool, and so it was kind of like a hotel,
but
because it still had a reception. Like it was hard to describe, but yeah, it's like individual apartments, still had a reception desk, had a pool. You could like barbecue and grill like outside and stuff. It was lovely, and I feel like it was right in the centre of Nashville too. So that's like, I feel like that's why I booked an Airbnb, because I was like, this is perfect for what we need.
Did you do Airbnb or hotel in Charleston? You said
Charleston. We did hotel, because we didn't really know that much about Charleston. We didn't know like how safe it was really or anything. Like we've not really heard much about it. It is really, really safe now. We know that. But yeah, we were like, let's just book a hotel. It had a little pool.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have gone in it. I don't know. It was a bit dirty.
Oh well.
And then Pigeon Forge, we had a hotel as well.
Oh right, okay.
But again, all of the hotels have pools. Actually, thinking about it, that I went to. Yeah, even I went to New Orleans. We booked a hotel and that had a pool on the rooftop.
They all merge into one.
Yeah.
When I think about where I stayed in each place, we did an Airbnb in New Orleans actually.
Oh, okay.
But I think there was something going on. So all the hotels were
booked or
were quite expensive as well. Yeah. Like when we were in Memphis, we didn't realise it was the anniversary of Elvis's death. So it was like,
oh no.
There were loads of people there and we obviously just turned up. Like, I know.
Like, hotel.
Yeah. So,
one room, please.
So Graceland was fully booked as well because I really wanted to go there. But I just didn't even think to look into stuff.
I feel like you wouldn't
think
to look into that though. No. Did you stay in any like hostels while you were travelling or not really?
I stayed in a hostel when I went to see Harry Styles. But it was really cool. So it was, I stayed in 2 hostels actually. The first one I stayed in was a private room. So like me and the girl I went to go and see Harry Styles with. But it was a shared bathroom. But I think they called it like a semi-private bathroom because when you're in your room, there's like lights above the bed. And if it's red, it means somebody's in the bathroom. And if it's green, it means it's free. So
you don't have to go and like wait and...
Yeah. So it's like, it's 1 shower and 1 toilet. And it is shared. Other people use it. But you're not showering next to somebody, like not that you have with a curtain of course, but like it's you've got your own shower like you would in a hotel room, but there was like 1 for every 4 or 5 rooms. So I really liked that because I was a bit kind of hesitant about staying in a hostel. I was a bit like I'd never really done it before, so I was a bit nervous. So that was the first one that I stayed in, and then the second one I stayed in was like other people in the room, full on shared bathroom, and it was fine. Like
it's fine. It's not like obviously a hotel's nicer because you can like you've got your own shower and all that, but it's fine.
And there were 2 girls that I met that live like near Manchester, so I still chat to them every now and then, and it was really, I liked it, like the whole
it's good to meet new people. I think in a hostel, like I think my first year traveling I only stayed in hostels.
Oh really?
We did. We stayed in a hostel in Queens and then a hostel called like Banana Bungalow in West Hollywood.
Cool.
It was weird, like the colours were what you can imagine, and then another one like on Venice Beach, and they were all fine. But
I think again it's just reading the reviews, because I was nervous to stay in one because I've never stayed in anything like that at all.
But if it's got like a 9 on Hostel World, then
it's gonna be it's gonna be fine. And then when you have a read of them, like you can suss it out. Like if you read it and it's got 1-star reviews, you're
probably not going to go. You do that with like a hotel as well, though, wouldn't you?
That's always probably safest, of course. Just reading them,
read the reviews. Them, yeah, definitely. And I feel like you can get some really good deals with hostels, though.
100%. That's why we booked to stay in one, because I wanted to stay in. Have you seen those pod hotels?
Yeah, they look really weird.
I know. I'd like that.
Really?
I really, really want to stay in one. But I don't think there actually is one in New York. So that was like, they called it like a pod hostel.
Okay.
Because you just had like a little bed with like a TV and like everything was there, but it was a bunk bed. But I thought it was a great introduction. It was like a soft launch for hostels.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice one.
The next one I was fine. And then so that last couple of weeks after I did the road trip, or the last like week or so, I was here, there and everywhere. We did Boston for like 2 nights and 2 nights in another hostel in New York, the one with the toilet sign. Then the proper hostel, and then I stayed in an airport hotel on my own. But that creeped me out. I don't like staying like hotels on my own. I think hotels if I'm with someone else, but hostels on my own,
definitely,
because everybody in a hostel I think is gonna be like, you can walk in and be like hi, they're gonna be fine chatting to other people.
I know they have certain rules as well, like if you're local then you can't stay in a hostel. Like I know HI hostel has some kind of rule that I feel like if you're local you can't stay there. You've got like, I don't know, I think it's to try and like attract people that are traveling and just like same vibes maybe. I don't know why it is, but and I feel like it's like certain age limits in some hostels as well. Like you can't be over a certain age. So I think that helps as well when you are staying in the room to not
Definitely,
know.
yeah.
Not that there's anything bad with it, but say it was like you and then like 4 50-year-olds. Like you don't really have much in common to talk about, but I feel like you know that that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, hostel's a good one. But where do you like book your stuff when you like hotels and things like that? What websites do you go on? Like, do you have a certain one, or do you just literally like
Booking.com
Booking.com,
usually,
yeah.
Because like you get like Genius points, don't you?
Yeah.
Like Genius level 3. But then hotels, flights, I always recommend Hopper. So basically, say if you wanted to fly from like New York to LA, you could put in obviously the airports you wanted to fly to and the dates as well. And then if you enable notifications, it pops up on your phone saying like, don't book it now, it's going to get cheaper, or book it now,
nice.
it's going to get more expensive. So I always use that to track my flights.
Yeah.
I always use it, but to be fair, I'm not very good at listening to it. It says like, book it now, it's not going to get any cheaper, and I'm like,
I feel like with internal flights, I always go directly to websites, like to the airline. So I feel like I won't really use it. I'll like have a look on a comparison one, but then I'm like, I feel like I can find cheaper.
I didn't realise how cheap internal flights were.
Yeah.
I was really shocked.
Like we booked most of ours through Southwest.
Did you? I can't remember how I flew.
Southwest, the ones that's like a bus. So you don't have a seat assigned here.
Oh,
so when you get on, it's like boarding group A to D, and say you're boarding group D, like you're sat wherever's left. But boarding group A get on first, and they can choose any seat on the whole plane.
That's wild. That's wild.
So if you're with people, like the three of us that went traveling, we were in boarding group D one day, and we were like, I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
But there was like all the middle seats left as well. So, excuse me, can I squeeze in here?
I've only ever flown internally once. So I flew from twice if you can't return, New York to Nashville this year. But before that, we've either driven or trains or buses. Yeah.
Oh my god, how eco-friendly.
I know.
Well, the driving, but
we got the bus from New York to Boston.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't fly. You wouldn't do New York to Boston.
Yeah.
You'd be like up and down.
But I learned the hard way. There were only 2 seats left together right at the back, and I thought, who's not booked the back of the bus?
The toilet.
How crazy. Not even the toilet, literally sat on the wheel. Like I was like being thrown around for the whole time. I was like, Kim, they've left the back of the bus free.
Yeah.
What fools everybody is. They didn't know the back of the bus is the best seat. And then literally we had like whiplash getting off
no.
like, bouncing. But it was like something ridiculous, like $14. So I won't complain.
Flew everywhere.
Did you?
Which is bad, to be fair. Like last year we flew I think it was like Boston to Charleston, flew Charleston to Nashville, and then Nashville to New Orleans, and then I flew New Orleans to Boston again. I guess, and then Boston home.
It's the most like efficient, I guess. And
yeah,
like if you haven't really travelled before, I think flying's good because you can't get on the wrong flight. Like you know you're gonna land there.
Yeah, I think it's because I had a week and a half as well, so I was like, I want to like get everything done quickly. But
bus club, another bus.
Yeah,
plane club.
Yeah, I know that my first year, 2 of my friends that were traveling, they got like a 60 an hour bus somewhere.
Hey, that's
right across.
Yeah,
some states, and I think I'd fly. You know,
that's why I think too back about the road trip though. But then it made it fun. Like it was fun just driving around. Yeah, like not and just getting out in random museums,
literally just random places.
That was fun. It was just like the novelty of being in the car all together lasted for about 20 minutes. We got like 20 minutes away from where we put the car up, and we were like, "You move your leg a bit, your bag's my way."
Start like shouting at everyone. On traveling in the States.
Okay.
I've got a little quiz, I'd say. So it's like some landmarks. We've got 5 different landmarks.
Okay.
In the US, and you've just got to say what state they're in.
Okay.
So I don't think they're like too difficult, but
I'm not very good with stuff like that.
If you know them, you know them. If you don't, you don't.
As with most things.
You know what I mean. Okay, so we'll go for the first one. Folly Beach.
Folly Beach? Mm-hmm. California? Do I have to get another guess? Or
yeah, you can have 2 guesses.
Florida?
No. South Carolina. I spoke about it all. You'll know this one. Golden Gate Bridge.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Is that in
which is in
California?
Yeah. And then the Space Needle.
Seattle. Washington.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
No, it's fine. It's fine. Double points. Monument Valley.
That sounds like something out of Cars.
Maybe it was in Cars. No?
Like Nevada.
You can have one more.
I'm like in the right area.
Ish.
On a map. That's helpful.
Like ish. It's
Texas.
no. Utah.
It's not. Yeah.
It's like next, I think, like more
What is
in.
Monument Valley?
Like a landmark. I don't know. I'd heard of it, but I don't know like actually what it is. It just looked nice when I googled it.
Cool.
And then Mount Rushmore.
North Dakota.
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yeah, I thought it was North Dakota actually, but it said South Dakota on Google. We'll
Considering-
fact check it, but Dakotas.
Yeah, one of the Dakotas.
So you got
If you count the states of the cities, I basically got 4 marks.
you got 3, but you really got 5.
5 out of 5.
Amazing. When I'm thinking about like what states stuff's in, it all just like merged into one.
I'm
Like national parks. There's so many national parks that I would never know.
America is like a huge part of my life. Like,
But America's like huge in
yeah.
itself. So
I know my
feel
camp.
like-
I know the best coffee shops in the local area.
Yeah.
That's it.
I know where to go in Boston, maybe.
Yeah.
I actually went to Wagamama's when I was in Boston.
I went to Wagamama's in Boston. It was at the very end of the trip.
It's like a glass,
Yeah,
like,
we were
built in.
Like, we have to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I went to we went to the Wagamama's in New York as well.
There's a Wagamama's in New York.
Yeah, but we went in like hoodies, thinking it was like Wagamama's at home, but it was a bit
fancier.
bit bougie. Like, oh
Bit
no.
fancier. That's so funny. So yeah, I know we always talk about traveling after camp and like going to all these places and everything, but I didn't really know my first year that much that you can work like post camp at most camps.
I feel like it's really not mentioned too much.
Like until you get there
Yeah.
and like in orientation I feel like it was first mentioned and everyone was like, what's that? Like we don't know what that is. Because they explained it a little tiny bit. It's basically we just knew that like groups would come in and maybe use camp. Like I think we had a couple of sports teams that would come and use the facilities, like college like football teams, and there was like an all boys thing, which felt very wrong because it was an all girls camp. Yeah. So it's like an all boys team. I was just there and I was like, what are you doing?
You should be here.
So there's been no boys here all summer. This is wrong. But yeah, but I didn't realise like when they explained that then we could work it as well, like as extra staff. I think especially because I was a lifeguard too, they wanted like lifeguards to stay.
So
that
you can lifeguard for
for them. But did your camp offer any like post camp work?
I've never done it, but my camp do it. Quite a lot of my friends did it this year. A few people did it before travelling because I don't know if it's the same at your camp, but at my camp you get paid a bit more. Yeah,
you get paid more per day. I can't remember the like exact rate, but because it's outside of your usual contract, you get paid like more for post camp, which is nice.
So quite a few people will do a bit of that and then travel with like the bonus.
Yeah, because it is kind of like a bonus, isn't it? Because you weren't expecting it when you were going there.
Yeah.
So then to find out you can get like the extra money is quite nice.
So did you enjoy it then when you did it?
I did. Yeah, I was like getting FOMO of the people that had already gone.
Yeah.
Traveling. But then I did enjoy it because it was like all the lifeguards stayed. So we had like all our friends there, so which was quite nice. And I feel like the groups that came in were nice enough as well. Like we obviously didn't get close to them, so they were there for like 2 days, but we'd put on like campfires for them and stuff.
Nice,
so it was like kind of, it felt like camp hadn't just ended yet, but it was like a little like
an insight into camp for that.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Exactly. And it was easy to do as well. Like I think all I had to do was extend my camp contract while I was there. Or like get a new DS 2019.
Oh yeah.
And then extend my insurance too. But yeah, I feel like the money for the post camp was definitely the main driving factor for everyone, really. I think it's like part you don't want to leave camp just yet, and then you're like, oh, I could have this like extra bit of money to go traveling.
How much money did you take traveling your first year? I know you obviously saved up for Pigeon Forge last year, but what about the other years? Did you take much?
I was planning on it, so I think I took like I didn't take that much to camp. I think it was like $500 I took my first summer for the time that I was there. And I was like, I'll be really good, I'll use that travelling after, but I ended up spending it all
at camp
whilst I was at camp. Yeah, like just because on days off I'd go to like the mall, I'd buy clothes, I'd go to Walmart and just buy snacks every single week. So then it got to after camp, and I honestly think I had a budget after paying for hostels and everything like that. I think I had a budget of like $10 a day.
Really?
Which is not enough, I'd say.
But no.
I mean, I did it. Yeah. I still had fun.
It's still a tale.
I just couldn't buy anything, do anything. Like I had to just like walk around places. Like I couldn't go in anywhere. I couldn't like go and get like an iced coffee. I had to just drink water from the tap and like
just linger around the streets.
Yeah. Like luckily the friends I went with lent me money. So when we were in New York, we'd maybe like go out one night and they'd like pay for things, and even like I'd be like, I really want a Dunkin' Donut, and they'd like buy me
wish
one.
I could have a coffee.
Yeah, but I think that's because they were doing the things, and they were like, well, we don't want you to just be sat there sad. But I paid them back when I got back. But how about you though? Did you take anything with you for your first year?
I'm so bad at saving money. I think my first year, I don't even think I saved it. I think I just had what was left over from my student loan. I think I went out with about £200, but then my first year I got paid 1,800, and like I was fine. I think I would say days off at camp, I usually budget about $25 a day ish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we didn't really. It depends what I'm doing. But then, so I still had a fair bit for post camp.
Yeah.
Well, post camp travels. Renting the car was cheap between 5 of us.
Oh yeah, between 5.
And then the petrol was probably the most expensive, but because we were driving around, we'd go to so many, you know, like the huge petrol stations, like where they've got like the big gulps.
Did you go to a Buc-ee's?
No, I don't think so. They're petrol stations, aren't
It's like a service station,
they?
like
a gas station.
Yeah, gas station. Sorry, and it's got like a beaver as the mascot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you would know if you went to a Buc-ee's.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know.
It's very strange.
But so I feel like that was really good for doing it on a budget as well, because while we were driving around, we were hardly spending anything.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because we went to a Pizza Hut buffet once for lunch. We literally drove past it, and they had no vegetarian pizzas. It was in like Alabama or somewhere.
Yeah,
they had no vegetarian pizzas, and I said, "Can you do a vegetarian one?" And she said no. So, well, yeah, okay, I'll watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'd get our lunch, and things would be like things that we'd like the big gulps from service stations and like slices of pizza and things like that. And then we kind of had a bit of an unspoken rule that we'd only eat out for one meal a day.
Yeah.
So, for example, when we were in New Orleans, like we wanted to try the food there, so we'd get like dinner there, but then at home we'd just make our own lunch, rather than like, we didn't really see a point in going to like McDonald's and stuff, although it's cheap and easy, because we had Airbnbs and stuff with kitchens. When we did, we just bought pasta and just like split it between the 5 of us and made pesto pasta. That makes it sound like we were like on this huge budget, but like we weren't. Like we still had a great time. It just meant that we had more money to spend like
on other things
elsewhere. So I'd recommend that for doing it on a budget. Like you don't need to go here and here and here for food. Like
I feel like the wages from camp as well definitely would cover it. And it
100%.
was just because my first year, it was when like flights were included. So I think I only got I think I only got paid, I want to say like, I can't remember the exact amount, but somewhere around like $700 or something for the summer.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that I'd spent all the money I took with me, and then I was spending my wages as well a little bit. Yeah. So then only getting paid like $700. Like that's quite a small budget, I'd say, to go traveling.
Well, even for this summer, like it's my 3rd summer and I haven't saved loads. Like I
haven't saved any for this summer.
No.
Yet.
I think if you want to do it on a budget, you can. And I really would recommend a road trip to anybody who's doing it on a bit of a budget.
I was going to do one this summer, but I think I just want like a more relaxing. I might do like a Texas road trip.
I think this summer I want like not a beach, not necessarily like a holiday. Yeah, I want like a sunbathe around the pool kind of vibe. So I feel like my last 2 years have been like hectic, and this year I want like chill.
Yeah,
chill
for
vibes.
sure. So each week, as you know, we get questions from our participants. So I have a couple here that I'm gonna ask you now. Okay. So the first one is, what are the best places to travel on the East Coast?
Boston, believe it or not. After singing its praises, no, I think Boston was great. There was so much to do. It was really like nice and chill.
Yeah.
I'd definitely say Boston. New York as well. I feel like if you're passing, you've got to do it.
I feel like the first time you go to New York as well is like, wow.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I was quite lucky. I'd been like with my family, and then obviously my camp's in New York, so we went on a day off. But we go for a weekend. Like my camp ends on a Friday. So the Friday, Saturday, Sunday we go into New York City. But I just think it doesn't get old. Like it's, I would say Boston and New York for me, I think. What about you?
On the East Coast, I'd say Boston. I do.
Yeah.
It just like has a place in my heart. I love it. But I'd also say Maine. Yeah, Maine as well. Up top.
Maine.
Yeah, I went last year for the first time, and it was like it rained the whole time. But I imagine when it's nice, sunny, it'd be beautiful. We went to Camden, Maine.
No.
Don't know it. I
I
had a gluten-free lobster roll.
Nice.
It was
gluten-free repping.
It's like $40 because it was the market price just for a roll, but it was great. Yeah.
We went to Scranton as well. I don't know if you watched The Office.
Yeah.
Where the office is set. We went there.
Is that on the East Coast? Where's Scranton?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the East Coast. That was amazing, but only because I love The Office.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like if you went and you hadn't watched The Office, you'd be like,
yeah, like cool. Okay. But then we got there, and then we were like, oh, let's go to all these locations where it was filmed, and it was filmed in LA.
Yeah.
So there's a few things to do that are Office related,
but not as much as you'd hope. Yeah.
If you're passing, go.
But if not,
you're gonna miss.
Amazing. Okay, so the next question is, what are some things that you wouldn't think to bring to camp that are a necessity?
For me, I think it will vary at every camp based on how they do their laundry. But I always say the mesh laundry bags that you can zip up, I think. Because we all put our laundry in the same bag at camp. It just keeps your stuff together.
It doesn't get mixed in.
Doesn't get mixed in with everyone else's. Yours goes in the bag, comes out in the bag. I think as well, I think it depends. But one thing I would say is look on camps' Instagrams. See what kind of events they have. Like at my camp, we have an event where like we all wear a white t-shirt. Things like that. I feel like if it's not something you wear, it's not something you'd think on.
Yeah.
To bring necessarily. One thing that I find quite handy is a little mirror for getting ready.
Oh, really?
In the bunk. Yeah, because in our bunks there aren't really mirrors on the walls, and if there are, there's like 40 campers surrounding them.
Yeah, there's only like by the sink.
Yeah, so I always find just a little like handheld mirror. Handheld mirror. That's a mouthful. I always find a little handheld mirror handy. Yeah, do you think what would you say is an essential?
I'd say like a shower. Was it like a shower caddy?
Shower caddy. They've got them in Primark.
Yeah.
In a minute. Yeah, I bought one the other
my
week.
first year, I didn't really know what one of I didn't know what that was.
All the kids have them, don't they?
Yeah, but then the kids had, and I was like, I have to get me one of these.
Just like a little mesh.
Yeah.
Bag.
Well, I've got one that like it has like a hook on the top, and then it like folds out 3 times. And then you can put.
I think I've got one of them as well.
Yeah. And I feel like that one, you could just like put it on the hook.
Yeah.
Get your stuff out, go in the shower.
Something to keep all your shower stuff together.
Exactly, and then you can like fold it back up and put it away, so it's not like out everywhere with all the kids' stuff.
This, I just thought one. It's not an essential, but I like bringing it. My own pillowcase. I just like having
I think this year I'm going to treat myself and buy a pillow from Walmart for the summer.
Yeah, nice.
Because the pillow I get there is like, not great. Yeah.
Another one is egg crates, as they call them. But I would say if you're going to get one, buy it when you're there. Like, you know, like the foam mattress protectors.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't have one my first year. Got one.
Really?
Yeah, got one off one of my campers last year. And I don't think I could ever.
So all the staff mattresses had them already.
Really? Oh, no, yeah, ours don't. I got one off a camper and my life was changed. Yeah, but you can get them from Walmart. Like, definitely don't take one with you because you have no room in your suitcase. Oh, no. But yeah, I would say a mattress topper. Egg crate.
Yeah, egg crate.
Well, more you know. Yeah.
So thank you for watching and listening. Join us next week for our final episode where we're going to talk about everything that you should expect when you get back from camp. So yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching this episode of the Camp Leaders Podcast. If you liked it, please hit the subscribe button so you can be first to hear about our future episodes.